Next, I would like to show you how you can find anyone's business email address. Now, finding business email addresses is very easy compared to finding someone's personal email address because you always have a pattern. For example, let's say that we want to find the business email address of Rishi Kabra, and Rishi Kabra works at Contact Out. Normally, Contact Out or any other company uses a pattern when creating email addresses. For example, it might be the first letter of the first name and then a dot, and then the last name at the company domain name. For example, S for Saad.Saraj@example.com. Or it might be only the last name at example.com, or only the first name at example.com, or the first and last name at example.com, etc. So our job is to identify the email pattern that the company uses, and then we can find any business email address. The best website that will allow us to do this is called Hunter. And the cool thing about Hunter is that they don't only have this service, but they also have multiple services. For example, we can go to pricing first and show you that they have a free plan that will allow you to perform 25 searches a month and verify 50 emails, etc. So I'm going to create an account and sign in with my Gmail. And then I want to answer the questions. I can say anything. And after you log into your account, you want to go to search and then search for the company where the person is working. For example, in our case, it's Contact Out. Like this. And if we looked here, we can see that the email pattern is only first name at contactout.com, which means that Rishi Kabra business email address has to be rishi@contactout.com, which we have already discovered in the previous lecture. Now, let me show you a real life example. I'm going to go to LinkedIn and then search for Contact Out, the company. And then I'm going to go to people, which are the people who works at that company. And then scroll down and we can see that there are many people who work at this company. So if you want to get, for example, Tanya email address, we are going to assume that her email address has to be tanya@contactout.com because the email pattern is always first name at domainname.com. So here is her profile. I can use Signal Hire to find her email address or get prospect if I want to. So let me say save and show email address. And it has to be tanya@contactout.com, as you can see. Now to verify that this is her email, I'm going to copy it and then go to Hunter and then go to Verifier, and we'll add the email address in here, which will verify whether this email can receive emails or not. And you can see that it has 71% chance that it can receive email addresses. So let me go to another employee, for example. Let me go to Rahul. And then I'm going to use get prospect and say save and show email. And it should show me Rahul@contactout.com. So let me copy it and put it in here. And I think that I'm going to get similar result, as you can see here. Now, if you were an ethical hacker or a penetration tester and you were tasked to perform a phishing campaign, the first step you want to do is to gather the employee email addresses. And we have already discussed how you can do this. And then you can send your phishing account. Obviously, you have to have a permission to do this. Now, if you would like to gather many business email addresses for people who work at a certain company, then you can go to this website that's called phonebook.cz, which is a website that belongs to Intelligence X. You need to log in with your account and then click on email addresses and then type the domain name. And in this case, I'm going to type contactout.com and then say submit. And this should show me many email addresses of people who work at that company. So as you can see, we were able to get a list of email addresses. Now, obviously, these are not all email addresses for the people who work at Contact Out, but I think this is a good option if you are trying to gather as many email addresses of people who work at a certain company. So in this lecture, you have learned how you can identify the pattern of an email address and how you can find anyone's business email address that work at a certain company.